Hey guys, it's Doris from LookMazing, and I'm back with a review on Asian sunscreens. And you guys probably already know the importance of wearing sunscreen, but I used to hate wearing it, especially the Western formulas tend to be a little bit thicker, also oily, and it leaves a white cast along with the fact that it doesn't smell that great. So I switched over to a few Asian brands, and I now really enjoy wearing sunscreen and pretty much wear it every day and all year round. So I thought it'd be helpful to introduce to you guys the popular ones as well as my review of them, and if you guys do have any questions you can let me know down below. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So before I jump into the actual products, I thought it'd be helpful to talk a little bit more about sunscreens, that way you guys know what to look out for. And at a high level, sunscreens are meant to protect you from damaging rays from the sun, and that typically comes in two forms. So there are UVB rays, and these are known for the causes of sunburns as well as skin cancer. And there are UVA rays, and those are the ones that penetrate more deeply and are the cause of aging and wrinkles. And UVA is typically broken up into two spectrums. So there's UVA1, which ranges from 340 to 400 nanometers, while UVA2 ranges from 320 to 340 nanometers. So depending on the ingredients in the sunscreens and the filters that it uses, it will protect you from either UVA or UVB, and you want to look for a sunscreen that is full spectrum, which means covering both UVA and UVB rays. So depending on the types of filters it uses, it's typically classified as either a physical sunscreen or a chemical sunscreen. So physical sunscreens work right upon application, and they include ingredients such as titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, which are known to help reflect the UV light. So I think of it as almost creating a physical barrier on your skin, and a lot of people with sensitive skin tend to prefer physical sunscreens because it doesn't irritate it as much, but the downside is that the formula tends to be a little bit more opaque and thicker and harder to blend, and also get that white cast. On the other hand, chemical sunscreens, you have to apply them 15 to 20 minutes before you step outside into the sun, and they typically include ingredients such as ivabenzone and octinoxate, which help absorb the UV rays and cancels out their damage, and they are more on the lightweight side and sometimes clear, so it's a lot easier to apply, and it covers a wider range of the UVA spectrum. But the downside is, for those of you guys who have sensitivity to chemicals, just want to make sure that the filters it uses doesn't irritate your skin. So all sunscreens will have the SPF level on there, which stands for sun protection factor, and they recommend a minimum of 30, but I personally prefer 50 because at 30 SPF covers about 97% of the rays, versus a SPF of 50, around 47 to 50, it'll cover around 98%. So they recommend that there's not much benefit going above an SPF 50. Also for Asian sunscreens, they do have an indicator for the UVA protection, and it's usually labeled as PA and then the number of pluses. So the max number is 4 for Japanese brands, and for Korean is 3. So for all the Japanese ones, I do have the PA++++, and then the Korean ones, I have 3 pluses. So I hope that was a helpful intro. So now I'm going to go ahead and start with my review on the products. So for those of you guys who are interested in the specific filters that each of the sunscreen uses, I will link below a chart that I created that maps it all out, so I won't be talking in too much detail about the ingredients in the video, but I will link it down below for you guys to check out. The first one I have here is the Shiseido Inessa Essence UV Sunscreen Aqua Booster, and I have the silver version, and it also comes in the gold one. The gold one is better for if you're doing more active or intense sports such as swimming or going to the beach all day, and the silver one is much more of a commuter one, so it's good for lightweight sports because it is still water and sweat resistant. And this one is a hybrid, so it has both chemical and physical filters. I just really love the lightweight formula. It goes on a little bit more on the oily side at first, but once you rub it in and it absorbs, it becomes a really nice matte finish. And it also includes hyaluronic acid, so it's a really nice moisturizing sunscreen, and it does have a light floral scent as well. and overall it does include what they call a light stamina technology, so it absorbs the UV rays and releases it in the form of heat so it becomes more stable. Yeah, so overall one of my favorite ones. The next one I have here is the Sunplay Skin Aqua Cerafit. This is the UV Smooth Watery Essence, and this is a chemical sunscreen, so I like it because it doesn't leave a white cast and also dries into a very nice powder finish. So this is a great one to use as a primer. I'll typically skip the primer if I'm using this one. And also it does include vitamin C, so it does help lighten any dark spots while at the same time protecting your skin from sun damage. And it does have hyaluronic acid, so it's a very nice moisturizing sunscreen. And overall I just really love the formula and texture. The only downside is that the smell still has a very soft hint of the traditional sunscreen smell, which I'm not particularly fond of, but it's just very, very slight. So yeah, that's the only thing I have against this one, but otherwise it's also a great one. Next one I have here is the Biore UV Perfect Face Milk, and I just really love the size of it. It's the perfect one to just throw in my purse and take it with me, because you definitely should reapply sunscreen every 2 to 4 hours if you're out in the sun. So this is the one that I do carry with me, and it is a hybrid one, so it does have both chemical and physical filters, which means that it does have a very slight white cast to it, but the formula of it is really nice and lightweight. It comes out in a very milky texture, but it dries to almost feeling invisible, like you don't have anything on your skin. So I would say it's very similar to the Anessa one, except for I think the Anessa one smells a little bit better. This one here is the Shiseido Senka Mineral Water UV Essence Gel, and this one is a chemical sunscreen, so no white cast, and it, I would say, is a sunscreen and skincare product in one, because it does include coenzyme Q10, which is a potent antioxidant, so great for anti-aging, and it helps decrease the breakdown of collagen. And it does also include hyaluronic acid, so it's a very nice moisturizing sunscreen, and it just goes on very nice and lightweight, almost invisible finish. A great one to use as a primer. I feel like it's almost like a lightweight serum, so one of my favorite ones too. The next ones I'm going to talk about together because they are quite similar yet different. They're both from the Biore UV Aqua Rich line, which is really popular and highly raved about. And the watery gel is in this bottle format, and it has a spout so you can squeeze out. So I think it's a slightly more liquidy than the essence, which comes in a tube that you can squeeze out. And the main difference is that the watery gel has an extra physical filter, titanium dioxide, versus this one is just a pure chemical sunscreen. So both of them have the same chemical filters, just this one is a hybrid with a physical one. And in terms of texture, I would say I prefer the watery essence because it's a little bit more lighter, but both of them have a light citrus fragrance, which I really love, and they both have hyaluronic acid too, so also really nice and moisturizing. And I don't think you can go wrong with either, but my personal preference is the watery essence because it's just a little more lightweight, and I feel like it doesn't have any white cast, versus this one just has a slight one to it. But yeah, I think the watery gel is a little less inexpensive than the essence because you do also get more of it, but I think it comes down to your preference. So the last one I have here is from the Korean brand Innisfree. This is the Eco Safety Perfect Sunblock. This one does have sunflower oil and green tea extracts. So this one is a hybrid, so it has both chemical and physical filters. If you guys are just interested in a physical sunscreen, the waterproof version of this is a physical one. So this one is very nice and lightweight. It absorbs into the skin really quickly, and I like the fact that it's sweat and oil resistant, so you can definitely wear this if you're doing activities. And I personally prefer the fragrance of it. It's a little bit thicker than the other Japanese ones that I've mentioned, but I still think it's also a really good one, and it doesn't leave your skin feeling too oily at the end of the day. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. And also, if you do have recommendations on any other sunscreens I should try, let me know down in the comments below. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!